All right, time for two truths and a lie. We got a big old liar here on the KVJ show, and our job is to try to find out who that big old liar is. 3 stories. We got one from Jbird, one from Dennys, and one from Suits. Suits is in here right now to tell us his story. So what's your story today, Suits?
Well, when we're all younger, we've all had times where we pretended to be sick to get out of school. I mean, that's just kind of part of growing up, especially when there's tests or something. For me, it was always like if I had a homework assignment due I didn't do. Oh, no, I don't feel good. I got to stay home so I could sneak it out and do it in advance. And I got pretty good at convincing my mom when I was sick over the years. But my parents were divorced, and my dad didn't really deal with the school stuff, and he's a doctor. So one day he was taking care of us while my mom was out of town during the school week, and I thought I could pull the same stuff, but I didn't want to just do a cough or anything because I knew he would make me go to school.
Okay.
So I thought, okay, what's something different I can do? I claimed, because I heard about it on a TV show, that I had vertigo, and I pretended like I couldn't walk straight. I'm like, okay, this will get me out of school. I didn't anticipate, though, how much of a hypochondriac my dad is being a doctor.
Okay.
I went back to bed, and an hour later, he woke me up. He called a doctor friend. He's got me a brain MRI scheduled at Miami Children's Hospital, and he takes me all the way down there. They put me in, like, this brain, like, they put a cage around your head. And I'm kind of claustrophobic, but because it's last minute, they can't sedate me for any of this stuff. So they stick me into this machine where I'm trying not to have a panic attack while I'm still pretending that I'm dizzy because at this point I'm just in too deep. Long story short, he actually ended up getting me admitted to the hospital for a night, and I just never told him that none of that was real. I just pretended I felt better the next day. I did get out of school, obviously, but to this day, he doesn't know that that was fake because I just got in too deep, and there was no way I was going to tell him as I'm sitting in the hospital.
Too deep?
I made it up.
Okay.
Nobody smart enough to be a doctor would listen to this show, so you're safe.
Yeah, no, there's no way he's going to listen.
Okay. All right. Is that a truthful story? Okay.
Very good storytelling, Suits.
Okay. Jaybird has got a story here. Is this true or not?
When we worked at Wild 95.5, and I'm able to talk about it now, you couldn't talk about it back then. Just for obvious reasons. We had a boss we worked with named Brody, who was really a nice, cool dude.
Yeah.
So back when I worked at Wild 95.5, I had to do an appearance, and I used to work with one of the members of the Snack Pack. He also would help you work in the promotions department. So we thought everybody was out of the station when we came back to put all of our equipment into the promotion closet area. You know what I'm talking about back at Wild.
Yeah.
And we decided to smoke a bowl of marijuana with the bag out. I mean, it was clear as day what we were doing. We thought nobody was there. And here comes our boss, Brody, walking in and bust us. Obviously knew everything was going on. He knew we were smoking weed and could not have been cooler and said, all right, guys, just don't do it again. This will be between us. And he never said anything. And if you notice, anytime I bring up Brody's name, I always go, Brody was the coolest dude, man. He's always so cool.
He could have turned me in.
Oh, that could have been easily a big time problem.
Oh, I like that's a great story.
Yeah, he's cool. He's a good dude like that. Okay, all right. Is that a truthful story? And then we got one more here from Dennys. What's your story, Dennys?
So I used to drink at a place called Pounders in Orlando. I know, it was a weird
Sounds
name.
like my kind of place.
Yes.
So how often did you go to this gay bar?
So me and my buddy Dylan went because he lived in the neighborhood behind it, and it was close enough that we could walk to it. So it
You
was
would go in the back door of Pounders?
I hear what you guys are doing.
Set yourself up.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They shouldn't have named it that,
it's
by the
your
way.
fault.
Well, so they were redoing the sidewalk on the way we usually walked back to his neighborhood, so we had to take the other way back. And we were drinking pretty heavily one night, and we came back, and we saw his roommate's car there outside. So my buddy came up with the idea we should poop on his hood, you know?
Poop on his hood.
So he climbed up there, did it, right?
You're
And
animals.
we went back in the house, and we were waiting for his roommate, who was in his room sleeping. We were waiting for him to come out and, eventually see it or whatever. Well, we ended up passing out. And the next day, no one says anything. His roommate comes home, just lives his life. And a week goes by, but we were so drunk, none of us even remember doing this, right? It wasn't until a week later that the neighborhood had released a form saying, has anyone seen this guy? And fortunately, the cameras are so crappy, you couldn't tell who it was, but it was sure as, S-bomb, my buddy pooping on this car. But the catch was, it wasn't his roommate's car.
He pooped on the wrong car.
That's why he never said anything. So he pulls out this thing, he goes, Dylan, is this you? And we look at it, and all the memories start flooding back, and we were like, oh my God, we were going to prank you. Dylan pooped on your car. But it was a random person in the neighborhood because we took the wrong way back.
So did you hand them over Dylan?
We told the roommate, but no, we never turned in, never
Good.
said
Can't rat
anything.
anybody.
Yeah, you can't turn in Dylan.
Okay, Virginia, you've heard 3 stories. 2 of them are true. 1 is a lie. Which one do you think is the lie?
I mean, great job. Great stories.
Yeah.
I loved them all.
All solid.
Gosh, okay. The Brody thing is very believable because Brody was a super cool boss.
Yeah.
And very chill and just wanted everybody to be happy. And
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted to turn anybody in.
Yeah.
Pooping is pretty rogue.
That sounds legit. I know. I was thinking, well, maybe that's just too much. But I don't know. The way Dennys told it, it was just, there was a glee in his
It sounded real, right?
Yeah.
It sounded real.
So after hearing those, I guess I got to lean maybe back on Suits as not being true. But when he was telling, I'm like, okay, that's legit. They're all really good.
You guys are struggling with this week.
We are
It's a
struggling.
tough one. But maybe Birds is so basic that that's a lie because it's very basic.
This is tough.
Yeah, because Suits and Dennys is more elaborate. Birds is pretty basic. I'm smoking weed. The boss caught us. He was cool about it. That's really his whole story.
You're going Jbird?
Well, I mean, that's what makes me suspect Jbirds.
Yeah.
Maybe more than the other ones. Yeah, maybe I will go Jbird on that.
Something's just telling me to go Suits. I don't know. I'm going Suits. You go Jbird.
Who is it?
With the real liar, please stand up.
Yeah.
Bird!
Bird is the liar.
Smoked weed. Legit
Yeah.
weed at work? Hell.
Yes.
You got it, Kev.
I did.
Although if that really did happen, Brody would have been cool, and you would not have.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have turned me in. I know he wouldn't have.